Yo, long time since I've made any kind of content. So kind of bored. Diablo's not hitting the spot anymore. I completed the campaign and now I'm pretty bored. So I'm gonna react to some of the Xbox showcase. Because I still haven't seen it. I usually stay away from things like this. But yeah. Let's check out what Xbox has coming.
First, we have significantly increased our supply of Xbox Series X, making it easier for fans to find globally. Second, we know you've wanted more storage with Xbox Series S, and I'm excited to share we have some news there as well.
Cool.
And now for the one more thing you've all been waiting for. Prepare for the most comprehensive deep dive we've ever done for the biggest game we've ever built.
Yay, Starfield. I'm not sure if I should be excited for a Bethesda game. I haven't truly liked the Bethesda game since Fallout 3. That was like bare bones experimental stuff. Yeah. New Vegas was the best Fallout that Fallout has seen since Fallout 2. And that wasn't even Bethesda. I mean, it was Bethesda's tool set, but it wasn't. It was Obsidian. I can't. I did not like Fallout 4. Skyrim was heavy downgrades from the whole Elder Scrolls format. Yeah, that's it's hard to be excited for a Bethesda game. Side note, wonder how much it cost to set this studio up. Like it's grandiose for sure. Anyways, let's react to some Starfield.
So sit tight and enjoy Starfield Direct.
Microsoft needs this game to hit. Like, they need this game to hit. It's just been one L after another for Microsoft. They need to go buy Capcom or Bandai Namco. Get some Japanese studios under their name.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us today.
The legend.
Welcome to Bethesda Game Studios.
Legend.
You know, we've been
It
so
just
lucky
works.
over the decades to make the kind of games that we love here. And that's thanks to all of you, from the Elder Scrolls to Fallout. We love creating these worlds and playing in them just as much as you do.
When I was a kid, man, Todd Howard was my hero. Like, when I played Morrowind and did research on Bethesda Softworks, since I grew up in Virginia, they were like down the street from me, and it was like my dream to go work for Bethesda one day. Obviously, I don't do that, and I do something far different from game design. I do marketing, so watching these trailers from a marketing perspective is always interesting. Anyways, Todd Howard.
And throughout all
He's gonna sell a Skyrim one more time.
that time, we'd often talk about and dream up the space game. What if we could take that feeling of being who you want to be and exploring a new world, but set it in space, where you weren't really limited in where you could go or what you could do? And that is Starfield.
Getting No Man's
Obviously,
Sky
we've come a
vibes.
long way since then. With the games we've built, our technology, and all of us here in the studio, we've done so much together, but, well, we've never tried to make a game like this. Today, you'll get to hear from many on the team and see so much of what we think makes our game special. So let's jump in and take a look.
I do really like that they are taking it into space. It's been a long time since we've had a really solid space game.
Starfield is our first new universe in over 25 years. But it's
So I'm
still
pretty pumped about it.
Bethesda RPG through and through, where you step into a new world and you get that feeling of unlimited possibilities. But this time, it's not just one world. It's over 1,000 worlds. Because the choice of where to go, it's not ours, it's yours. And it wasn't until now that we had the technology to create it.
Isn't everything
From the rocks at
procedural
your feet
generation?
to the mountains in the distance.
That's a scary
People and
thought,
creatures that live in these worlds.
because they're not handcrafted worlds.
That isn't just a backdrop. That moon is actually there orbiting the planet. Yes, you can visit it too. We realistically simulate the
It looks
galaxy
amazing.
around you. Our next generation lighting model uses real-time global illumination to light the world based on the type of star and the makeup of the planet's atmosphere. We also have an all-new animation system. And of course, you can play it in third person, and you can play it in first person.
Looked a little jittery.
We love exploration and rewarding it, but you do explore differently
Small
in this
gripes,
game,
though.
given its scale. That usually involves exploring an area you've landed in. You can collect resources, do a mission, and maybe even stop.
So obviously they're going to show their handcrafted areas or their handcrafted planets because it is a marketing video. But I do feel like, and I'm hoping this isn't the case, but with procedural generation, you end up getting a lot of just emptiness and soullessness because there wasn't a, granted, yes, AI has come really far, but it's not handcrafted all the way through. Everything isn't, you're not going to get the same quality as like a Dark Souls game. Where every single hallway is handcrafted for specific reasons. And of course that's a lot smaller in scale. I feel like I am hoping that this isn't the case because Microsoft has a blank check basically and said, here, make it the best fucking game you can make. But with procedural generation, you end up running into some really goofy empty soulless worlds. And a good example of that is Bethesda's own game, Daggerfall. If anybody's played Daggerfall, the procedural generation for that massive world led to a lot of just emptiness. So yeah, anyways.
Stumble upon something unexpected.
It's crazy how far Bethesda has come with shooting mechanics. If you remember Fallout 3, when the shooting was so fucking god awful, it was the worst shooting
We do love stuff.
ever.
All of the items allowing you to pick everything up, and you can view all that in your data menu. This is the hub for everything you're doing, from your skills to your ship, your missions, and your inventory. We love to pack a ton of detail in every object, from all of your weapons to spacesuits to food. We just obsess over the details, and food. We obsess over food. Yeah. When you're done exploring, you can walk back or fast travel to your ship. We have companion.
This is the best that the creation engine has ever looked, and I don't like the creation engine. I was really hoping they would go with a new engine. I get it though that the modding community, which has been the backbone of every Bethesda game, has relied heavily and has learned the creation engine to the T. Like everybody knows creation engine. It's just the backbone of the creation engine is Gamebryo, is just really not the greatest. It was made for MMOs, which is great for big open worlds. It's just, I was really hoping that they would move away from creation engine, and go with something more like Unreal Engine 5. Because creation engine is the reason for most of the bugs. But this does look, it still looks like creation engine, but it's never looked this good.
And crew you can take with you. I left Vasco here back at my ship.
Welcome back, Captain Howard.
And he can even say your name. Let's head out.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks really good.
Our mission was to convey the wonder and majesty of space exploration, to evoke the romance of the golden age of early spaceflight. And we've been referring to this approach as NASA Punk. This means a design language where the tech is advanced.
Yo, I like that.
Still looks grounded.
I like that. NASA Punk. It reminds me of The Expanse, which is very NASA Punk. But that term, I think that's a cool way to, it's a new genre apparently, but it's a cool idea, cool concept, and I'm pretty excited to see what it offers. I've always loved steampunk and cyberpunk universes, so a NASA punk being more closely related to actual, like, to NASA is actually a pretty cool fucking concept, and I applaud the team at Bethesda for that idea.
And relatable.
For us, it's that contrast. That's where the visual interest is. Obviously the NASA, which is the rigid, hard function over style, and then punk, which is all about style.
You can see that visual style coming through in your ship. Your ship is your home for you and your crew. And like many of the spaces in our game, it has a slightly retro and analog touch, a bit of lo-fi rather than sci-fi, where everything is well used, worn, and lived in.
Alrighty, what's the plan, Captain?
This is your star map. It starts with the planet you're currently on. You can see all of its info and resources. You can choose a landing spot or fast travel to known locations. Backing out further, you can view all the planets in the system. Obviously, the game is big, and it's here you can see planets that have key locations, missions, or life on them.
See, I think they should have stayed local. If you're going to do star travel and be NASA punk at the same time, at the very most, maybe 3 stars. But I think that they kept it to one solar system. They could really develop each of these planets massively. They could have massively developed each of these planets to be something amazing. Which, I mean, I'm still holding out that it's probably going to be amazing. This is Todd Howard's baby. This is his dream game. So we'll see.
Versus the many planets that are barren, but
I do like the gravity, or the ideas of gravity here, which I believe is based off of Einstein's theory of relativity, where or I think it's also like heavily influenced on string theory, where gravity, the more mass an object has, the bigger this little funnel around it, where it warps time and space, is around it. So that's basically all gravity is warping time and space. I think that's really fucking cool. Like, that's really cool that you can see the lines of the gravitational pull here. While it's just that's super interesting to me. Yeah.
Source heavy. Zoom out even further to see all the systems in this part of the galaxy. Here you can plot a course to ones that are light years away. This uses your ship's grav drive to fold space and jump to these systems. And you
That's a cool concept
your
too.
Ship and skills if you want to jump to the most distant ones. But for now, we'll plot a course to the
That's an actual
system.
That's an actual theory too, is that one way to beat light is to fold space so that you're in both locations at once and then you unfold it. The other one is being in a bubble and pulling space to you.
Welcome to UC Space. Maintain your current course while we scan your ship's cargo. Scan complete.
I like that HUD.
For landing at New Atlantis.
That HUD looks really good. Yeah, definitely the best creation engine has ever looked.
As soon as you land in a city like New Atlantis, your eyes are guided upwards to just these boundless, vast buildings.
It's the biggest city we've ever made, not just in size, but also in the amount of custom art, crowds, and quests.
So the main focus when we're designing a city is obviously what supports the story. We try and tell as many small stories as possible.
This is a Colony War memorial.
It's a few moments of gameplay that make the space feel like it's full of real characters that are going about their day-to-day lives.
It's paralyzing if you really stop and think about it.
Buddy, it's coffee.
It's also where your adventure with Constellation begins.
Okay, so I'm guessing the main story is going to make that huge, expansive galaxy into a very small
Constellation
game.
is sort of seen as this mythical group.
That's the
Most
actual
people don't even
handcrafted
know
part.
They exist anymore. They're the last true explorers in the galaxy, and they're trying to find the answers to some of humanity's biggest questions.
The artifacts are so different, so alien, and I'm certain one of them reached out and spoke to you.
Is it a Chosen One story?
The artifact, if you could place it on the table here.
Oh my god, look at how it's coming together.
That means there's a set built by an intelligence outside the settled systems.
It's definitely an eclectic cast of characters. You've got Sarah Morgan, the ex-soldier and adventurer, now Constellation's leader. Mateo, the theologian who believes that there's definitely something else out there. Noel, the gifted scientist and Sarah Morgan's protege. And Walter, a very successful businessman in the settled systems and Constellation's financier.
Anything goes as long as you have the money.
There's also Vlad, the ex-pirate, Sam Coe, the former space cowboy, and Barrett.
You know what I hate about these pirates? Completely resistant to my otherwise irresistible charm.
The journey you take with Constellation is just the first of many you'll embark on. The Settled Systems is home to all kinds of different stories, people, and adventures for you to uncover.
Wait, was that a bug? There was a flash. Watch watch that monster.
Noel, the gifted scientist and Sarah Morgan's protege, and Walter.
There's like a texture tearing there.
The Settled Systems and Constellation's financier.
Anything goes as long as you have the money.
There's also Vlad, the ex-pirate, Sam Coe, the former space cowboy, and Barrett.
You know what I hate about
That space cowboy doesn't really fit in the whole NASA punk look.
irresistible charm.
The journey you take with Constellation is just the first of many you'll embark on. The Settled Systems is home to all kinds of different stories, people, and adventures for you to uncover.
Right here. Yeah. There's a texture tearing.
People.
I mean, that could just be like the blur not working correctly, but That's definitely texture tearing. In their marketing video.
Colonies is where you'll find New Atlantis, the first major human settlement in space. The people who live here value law, discipline, and the legacy of humanity. They consider themselves the true children of Earth.
You ever think of joining up with the Vanguard? Help the United Colonies, even get your UC citizenship?
New Atlantis isn't the only city within the United Colonies. The city of Sidonia on Mars to this day serves as the colony.
So I do think that the whole idea of NASA punk, this whole theme, is pretty fucking awesome looking. I do wish that, like, with that city of New Atlantis right there, I do wish that they took like concepts from like Elon Musk or a couple of the freelance NASA colonists, ideas of like the bubbles and just the general look of what people think a colony will look like on a different planet, and applied it here. I mean, obviously we don't know how long we have inhabited this planet, so all those details, this could be thousands of years in the future, and the humanity is going to just continue to build up.
The city of Sidonia on Mars to this day serves as the largest mining facility for the United Colonies. Beyond the
11
United
hours
Colonies
without
reach,
incident.
you might find yourself in a much more wild and independent coalition of star systems.
Do they have sweet rolls though?
This is Freestar Collective Space. The capital of the Freestar Collective is Aquila City.
The Stone Root Inn is an Aquila City fixture.
A ranger relies on judgment and intuition to do what's best for the people.
Neon started out as a fishing platform, but is now known throughout the settled systems as a pleasure city where almost anything goes.
If you've got morality issues, this definitely isn't the job for you.
Ryujin is hiring the best and brightest of today for our future tomorrow.
Everyone has been chewed up and ground up by Neon. Try not to get yourself killed, all right?
Outside the bounds of civilized space, there are still plenty of unclaimed systems to explore, but these areas are also home to the most hostile factions in the galaxy.
The great serpent hungers. All heathens shall be made dust in time.
A new...
Is there a level scaling though? Because if I go in there as level 1, then they're not very hostile. They're quite weak. That's like one of my favorite things to do in like Oblivion or Morrowind, is making all of my major skills that were really hard to level up so that my character never progresses in level, and having all my miscellaneous skills being the actual skills that I want to level up. So I would have 100 swordsmanship or 100 levels in one-handed sword, but only be level 1, and all of the monsters would also be level 1. So I would be a god amongst all the level 1s. And the same concept applies here, then I would just never level up and beat the game super easy. Just saying, just throwing it out there, but I'm sure that's going to follow more of the Skyrim leveling system.
New face. Is this the face of a brave runner here to challenge the Red Mile?
They think the galaxy is theirs. They are wrong. It belongs to the Crimson Fleet. It always has.
In Starfield, we're pushing our cities and settlements further than we ever have before. It's all there, waiting for you. A slice of humanity's future.
So, ready to get out there?
Oh, look at them
Galaxy,
smiling.
There are so many things to see and stories to experience. But the most important story is the one that you tell. I'm the type of person who spends hours in character creation, and I think people are going to be really excited when they see all of the improvements we've made.
One of the biggest overhauls was done through our character generation system. We scanned a wide range of faces from different age groups and ethnicities, and by mixing and matching all that data, we were able to create highly detailed and diverse characters.
We use that exact system to create all of the characters and NPCs you're going to see in the game, so any character you see almost always is a character you could make yourself.
Wasn't that the case in every game?
Come on. Okay, take it easy. You were out cold. No physical damage. Mentally, the jury's still out. You know who you are? New recruit for Argos Extractors? Ring any bells? Any of this look familiar?
You start your character creation journey as though you're cycling through employee records. You'll pick from a lineup of 40 presets, and that'll be your starting point. Your journey from there can be as detailed or as quick as you want it to be. This new system has more to offer than ever before.
It's also the simplest character generation system we've ever had. We let the player get as close as possible to make whatever they want. With the various facial morphs you can blend together, the dermesthetic and makeup, blemishes, scars, piercings, teeth settings. It's a lot, but I think it's the most fun to use.
Character creation is more than just how you look. This is also where you start to decide who you want to be. That's where backgrounds come in. Backgrounds give you a bit of backstory and start you out with 3 basic skills.
That does look like the best character creation they've had ever. I mean, we've all played Oblivion. We've seen
What's
that
great about backgrounds is you never know when
terrible
yours is
character
gonna come in
creator.
handy. You could be in the middle of a fancy restaurant talking to some guy, and suddenly you learn he needs a beast hunter to help track down a monster.
Fine. I probably should stick to professionals anyway, given what happened the last time.
We're also giving you the option to customize your build even further by letting you pick up to 3 traits. Traits are completely optional, and they come with their own advantages and disadvantages.
I like that.
You could choose to meet your biggest fan.
I like that.
By Vectera! Is it really you?
He'll join your crew, and he'll give you gifts.
Is that an Easter egg from Oblivion
commentary.
with the gladiator pit guy?
Stand near you, breathing
It
the
is.
same air.
It's the same guy. He's got the hair and everything.
My favorite trait is kid stuff. You have to pay some credits to support your parents, but they're very sweet, and it's really fun to go visit them.
Honey, we got ourselves
Double
a visitor.
A.
Oh my god! I came across some hostile zealots in space, but because I had chosen a trait that made me the same religion as them, I was able to get by without any issues.
There's another great one that gives you a damage buff when your health is low, but mercenaries will randomly show up and try to kill you. No matter what you choose, there will be plenty of ways for you to tell your story. And if you want to remove a trait, there are ways to do that too.
What a view! It's a feast for the eyes. Off we go.
Are they actually looking at the RPG elements of
Let
the
you
game?
discover that on your own.
Like that's what they've been missing. Like that's the problem with the Fallout 4 was that they completely removed any aspect of RPG. Outside of the
perfect character,
really
that's where your journey can
lame
We took what we
dialogue
learned about
wheel
skills and perks from our previous games
and
put them
some
together
perks, I
to
guess.
create an all-new skill system. Each time you level up, you get a skill point.
Okay.
Which can be used to unlock or rank up.
So basic level up system. It's not the more you do something, the better you get.
Ranks are unlocked by completing challenges associated with that skill. Challenges become increasingly difficult as you work your way to higher ranks.
So obviously can't just be a level 1 character gaming the
per skill. There's a lot to
the
I like the Xenos
scaling
sociology
level system.
skill because it lets you mind control aliens.
Boost pack out of the gate. I'm boost packing everywhere.
I like maxing out my physical tree so I can get neuro strikes and just punch my way through combat.
It's the way I play too.
That one's a lot of fun.
That looked a little
Invest
corny.
in the skills that suit your playstyle.
I'm very much a stealth player. So, I'm out there pickpocketing everyone. My favorite part about being stealthy
Is that breaks the game?
creeping through vents like you're in a movie, and then jumping out and springing on people.
Whenever possible, I like to talk my way through situations.
This area's off limits.
That I like.
I'll issue you an access card.
I'm more of a run and gun.
That I like. If I could play the entire game just being like a swindler of words,
Guys and I throw landmines at them.
then this will be easily the best Bethesda game since Morrowind.
I like blowing stuff up.
Maybe they actually looked at the advice that everybody gave them after Fallout 76
Is a key aspect of all our games.
about how badly everybody wants Obsidian to make another Fallout.
Life, resources, and adventures.
That looks
Our
awesome.
team worked hard to strike a balance between fun and realism. We studied data from NASA and a multitude of other sources to help us make the world feel believable.
Turn it down a little bit.
From the way we approached planetary atmospheres to the way we placed biomes based on the planet's distance from the sun. Once we had created a grounded world, we could start looking at all the things that make that world fun. When you leave a planet and head into space, you'll be navigating asteroid fields, having chance meetings.
I like that. That looks amazing.
Dogfighting in space and exploring derelict ships.
That was a really slow dogfight.
It's all out there. Ultimately, it's about rewarding your curiosity, because whether it's on the surface of a planet, the alleys of a city, or the vastness of space, you never know what you'll find.
I really hope they nail the space in this game. I want a good space game.
Space exploration is possible thanks to your ship. Your ship is almost like having another character or home you can make all your own. I think you'll be blown away by the amount of stuff you can do. You can buy a ship.
I'm sure you can find something you like.
Customize and upgrade that ship. And hire a crew to keep it up and running. And it all starts in spaceports. Every spaceport has a ship technician where you can purchase, sell, and modify ships.
Anything I can help you with?
Maybe you start off with a speedy fighter that's perfect for bounty hunting. Then you might round out your ship roster with a hulking space freighter to run cargo missions, or even do a...
That's cool. I like that.
For now, though, we're going to take our...
There's a game.
The frontier, and make some changes.
There was a game way back in the day called Privateer. And one of my favorite things to do in that game was run trade cargo in a giant, bulky ass, slow ship across the whole solar system and just have infinite funds to start my game off. And that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that aspect of the game. So kudos to Bethesda on that one.
You can customize
Hopefully it works.
and upgrade everything you see here. And you have two ways to do that. You can quickly upgrade individual systems like your weapons or shields, or you can deep dive and enter the shipbuilder mode. Here you can change anything from the systems to the look and layout. Adding a new habitat module can give you more...
Oh man, people are going to make 100% somebody's going to make a penis.
overall silhouette.
There's going to be flying penises, flying boobs.
Distance space jumps.
Like, it did take long for the Zelda game, Tears of the Kingdom, for the... You've seen the memes. You've seen the memes.
Will also affect what you can do inside your ship. You can have modules for crafting.
Oh man.
And displaying your weapons. Starfield's in-game ship manufacturers bring their own look and feel to every piece of your ship. From living quarters to cargo holds, mess halls, and control rooms.
Please do not be a live service game. Please do not be a live service game. Please do not be a live service game.
Our modified Frontier is a practical ship, but with a little creativity, your ship can look like almost anything you want.
And what I mean by that, do not be a live service game, is because of that customization feature. They could limit modding support and sell skins. They could sell different new tech or new corporations to you so that you have more customization options, and then they would just keep adding new planets and new things to the game that you would obviously have to pay for. So that seems to be the direction that the entire game industry is going. I could definitely see where they could monetize that and then limit modding support, which would be the worst thing that they could do because the modders make better games than Bethesda does. While this game does look great, I'm going to give it to them. They have done, and I know this is a marketing video and I'm trying not to get hyped up, but they have done a great job aesthetically and just, you know, the RPG elements, the sheer amount of things that they're adding to this game. Please do not be a live service game.
It's a bit odd, but one of my favorite ways of customizing ships is I make them look like animals. The HMS Platypus, as I called it, where it had like a giant tail to it. And we've done spiders, we've done mechs. So it's really whatever your imagination is.
Yep.
While you can build your home among the stars the way you want to,
we're gonna see some wild builds.
The only person who will call your ship home.
Ready to lift off when you are, Captain.
Engines ready.
The Frontier is fuel.
Yo, this just hit me. Isn't this what Star Citizen has been trying to do this whole time? Like this is what Star Citizen is trying to do, and Bethesda did it and is releasing a game.
And ready, Captain.
Without $1 million ships.
Constellation can join you on your journey. These companions can serve on your crew, and they'll always be there when you travel.
We'll be traveling together until we either find an artifact or this lead runs dry.
Each companion comes with their own valuable skills for your ships and outposts, as well as unique quest lines. Eventually, some friendships might blossom into romance.
I just want to punch that cowboy in the face.
Except you. And if you're looking for a little
like his face
ship,
bothers
you can
me.
Always hire additional crew at spaceports.
Just hit him right in the face.
For someone like me?
You'll also meet potential crew members out in the world.
Still think there might be a spot for me on your ship? I gotta get off this rock.
Assign crew to your ship or outposts, and their unique skills will affect how they run. And just like companions, most crew members can lend a hand in the field. Take Bosco, for instance.
He's designed around the core basics of a NASA machine.
Please avoid getting shot. You might die.
I still wanted to give it almost a humanoid personality, so I elongated the limbs. This tends to make him feel more human-like and give him a little personality.
That makes him feel human-like?
So much bloodshed.
Using the shipbuilding tools and crew selection features in Starfield, you'll be able to build and captain the ship of your dreams.
Wouldn't the shorter arms be more human-like?
And now,
I think he's going for more gorilla-like. Orangutan.
We're putting you in the cockpit of your very own spaceship and telling you that you can do pretty much anything. And that is really cool for us as developers.
Thank you, Zachary.
Spaceflight should be exciting and dangerous, and you should feel like you're in complete control every step of the way. We've extended that sense of control to ship combat. It's not about just hitting your triggers to fire your weapons. It's a complex dance between your piloting skills and our power allocation system. Boosting power to your engines will make your ship faster.
Oh, I like that.
Powering up the ground rise will shorten the amount of time it takes before you can make a jump. And moving your power to your weapons and shields means
That's
you're ready for a fight.
that's really cool. That's really cool.
You should always be.
That's a really cool concept.
You're not alone out there.
I like that a lot.
Unlocking the targeting control system skill will allow you to zero in on specific subsystems of the ship you target.
Feel like a bad system. Not sure how much I like that auto aim.
After destroying an enemy ship, you can loot the remains from your cockpit. You can always turn any ship that engages you into scrap. But you can also take a more personal approach by docking with the enemy vessel and boarding their ship.
That's cool too. That's actually really cool.
Once you've taken control of an enemy ship, it's yours. Add it to your fleet and retrieve it at any spaceport.
Nice.
But space is way more than fighting for your life. Just like when you're planetside, there are plenty of sights to see and stops to make on the way to your next adventure. Like these massive star yards. Walk the halls, talk to the crew, maybe get talked into buying a whole new ship.
A civilian in my star yard. Let's see about getting you a proper ship, one worthy of you.
Maybe you'll dock with a gigantic battleship like the UC.
He said maybe you'll dock. It's a COVID-approved handshake.
Vigilance.
I know, a little immature.
Or rub elbows with the galaxy's wealthy elite on a cruise ship fit for the stars. There are plenty of personal encounters to be had as well. You can hail any ship you come across to trade, swap info, or maybe even commit an act of piracy.
Let's do this.
When I'm playing, I generally go crazy. I definitely go like the more piracy routes. I want to take over ships. I'm gonna board ships. I'm like, this is now mine. I steal all the sandwiches and put them, in my cargo hold that I have specifically for sandwiches. I don't want to play the hero, but I want to go out and just start taking things from people as quickly as possible.
Keep her away from me.
Some strangers might be looking for a little human connection in the darkness of space.
That's where everyone's paper clips went. She stole everyone's stapler.
Some of the best moments are the ones you discover on your own. The thing I love most about Starfield is that it is a Bethesda game through and through. It's really about
Don't say
going to
that.
strange new places, meeting interesting people, and getting sidetracked on zany adventures. Then realizing 2 hours later that you're involved in a completely new story.
Who wrote these scripts for these people?
We thought we were the only ones to leave Earth.
A zany adventure.
Encounters, it's in our handcrafted quests. And it feels so cool to play it and just make your own path in this universe. There are over 1,000 planets out there just waiting for you to visit. We want you to feel like explorers, breaking ground on new planets, exploring every inch of a mostly untouched galaxy. We want you to feel hopeful.
Show us one of the procedural generated
and wonder.
worlds then.
And sometimes a little fear. We're giving you a massive playground and a ton of toys, and just setting you free.
everybody, we've shown you so much
Hey.
stuff, but we thought we'd just take a little break and show you something a little bit different. You know, we put so much detail into our game worlds, and we love the opportunity to bring that into the real world with our collector's editions. And for this game, we've done a watch. It is the Constellation Explorers Watch. This is a watch
Todd
that
Howard's
lets
selling
you
me
download
something
the
again.
game that acts as part of your
Oh,
life.
man.
It's the compass and then environmental information. It connects to your phone to give you notifications and other information. And we've also designed this really cool case that it comes with, Eastvan.
Yeah, we really
Does it come with
took much
Skyrim?
care in designing this
Are you
case.
selling me Skyrim again?
Our attention to detail in the game totally translates to this. Inspired by
The definitive Starfield edition?
back samples from the moon. It's got the
X2?
locking mechanism, authentic, heavy, comes with a Constellation patch, NATO strap, and the overall functionality and believability of this.
Todd, just sell me another Skyrim,
in the
man.
world, in the Starfield universe.
Oh, and hey, take this. You'll find it very useful out there. And it even tells the time.
Oh, cool. Pit
We
Boy.
actually have something else. Now that we're part of Xbox, we get to work with the amazing people on the Xbox hardware team.
Oh, yeah.
Together we have created this custom limited edition Starfield controller. It's awesome. It is now, you know, our favorite controller.
We love this because it's inspired by the actual controls.
It looks like he doesn't even know how to hold it. He's just like, what is this?
We've created the first ever custom headset with Xbox, and this is a perfect pairing with that controller.
It's a perfect pairing with the controller. So it won't pair very well with other controllers. I have to get this controller. Or is it just the plastic on the outside? That is a pretty cool headset for an Xbox, though. Definitely ain't no Steel Series.
In every one of our games, we always put so much care into all those little details that breathe life into our worlds. But Starfield isn't just a Bethesda Game Studios world, it's a Bethesda Game Studios galaxy. So why go this big with Starfield? Because we want to give you freedom on a galactic level. The freedom to experience both the exciting planets and the quiet ones. Scanning a planet before you land is a great way to get a...
Bigger isn't always better. Let me reiterate. Bigger isn't always better. Know what they say? It's the motion of the ocean, right? Yeah. It's not always better. And the reason being is that the bigger your game is, the more you have to fill it with nonsense and just filler content. And then you end up not running into good, well-crafted content as often. For example, the reuse of bosses in Elden Ring. I think Elden Ring is an absolute masterpiece, and it's in my top 5 favorite games of all time. It's just, you do end up running into that part of the game where it feels like it was just filler, like it was just thrown in there. And then you're adding into it the procedural generation. You're going to run into a lot of issues where there's going to be a lot of planets that are just going to be empty, dead. It's just, and that goes very well with space exploration, because we can look in telescopes and see that there's a lot of just empty, dead planets. We're the only planet with life that we have discovered so far. But I just feel like you're going to run into content that isn't going to be a very high caliber of content compared to the main storyline or the main quest that they have handcrafted. So that is my only concern when you get too big. If you made one solar system of planets and put all of that development that you put into the 1,000 other planets into that solar system of planets, you would have a solar system full of just an amazing experience through and through. So scale, I'm not sold on that yet. I'm not sold on that there's 1,000 planets. We could look at No Man's Sky, for example, though No Man's Sky was a much smaller studio. I think they were like, what, 6 people? It's still, you're running into that issue, that disconnect is like every game studio is like, oh yeah, we're going to create the biggest game world ever. It's going to be huge. And then they fill it with Ubisoft shit. Climb this tower.
A sneak peek at the available resources you can use for crafting, building, and customizing.
I think what's cool about this whole system that we generate the planet itself as a procedural content, but the handcrafted content itself comes as the player explore. Our system builds a planet as the player approaches it. We stitch together a block of terrain. After that, we have the system that adds interesting locations for the player to explore, creatures to encounter,
okay,
ore and plants to pick up. It allows us to add that touch of environmental storytelling that Bethesda is known for.
Aggressive creatures have been disrupting our experiments. Their habitat isn't far from here. If you could take care of them for us, we would be in your debt.
So even if your friends were to visit the same planet that you had, you would have a different story to tell.
Mm. So you're saying one person could have a better experience than the other person. Cool. Instead of having the same experience, or at least in a shared world, where we could say, yeah, we did this thing, you could too. Which is kind of what made Elden Ring so amazing, was that you could miss huge parts of the game that your friends went on adventures and did other things or had different experience than you, but still in that same shared world where they could say, yeah, I went to this one place, just go to that waterfall and hop in that coffin.
You want to interact with each planet.
Like, it's
and see what you can find.
I don't like procedural generation.
Or simply take in the views.
Though that does look really
With your
good.
Scanner, you'll chart the uncharted and discover exotic wildlife.
If you have the skills, you can even figure out that certain creatures and plants, you can build an outpost and produce resources from those plants and animals. You can get experience and
Getting No Man's Sky vibes here.
Surveying planets and fully surveying a whole system.
When we were concepting these creatures, we really wanted to think of them as natural to the environment. We didn't want alien monsters, we wanted native wildlife. Something you've never seen before.
When it comes to our exteriors, when the sun moves, all that light is calculated in real time through the atmosphere. Our biggest goal for lighting with Starfield was to make the game feel more filmic, to use lighting and color to really make it feel more cinematic.
Yeah, that really does look good though. I know they're only showing us the handcrafted stuff, but it still looks really cool.
Outposts can be built almost anywhere on any planet. And the habitat modules come in all shapes and sizes, filling all different purposes. You can even live in them. Assign crew and companions to work at your outposts for...
Because after all, they're just trying to sell us the game right now.
...to harvest resources while you're away.
Something cool we have this time is we have a new fly cam, where you can toggle between on-foot building, or you can now use a top-down isometric camera, which helps plan out larger parts of the outpost.
I like that.
Using those larger halves, so that way you can really plan your structures and what the
Everything's
overall
better in
outpost
isometric.
is. And then when you're on your feet, you can really decorate and find.
Says the
things
CRPG
much
nerd.
easier.
Add crafting and research stations in your outposts to utilize any resources you find or already have. Mod your weapons to adapt them to your playstyle. Different weapon sights and scopes, larger magazines, a selection of grips and barrels.
There's a lot of crafting in this game,
Explosive rounds.
which means we're going to get a lot of loot in this game
All you stealth players
that's going to
surely need a suppressor.
just fill up your inventory.
You can also choose to go hands-on with melee weapons.
I think it's always a delicate balance between like what's realistic, what's sim, and what's Hollywood. And I think we sort of err on the side of like what's fun for the player.
With Starfield, we've completely overhauled our combat. It's more dynamic, the animations are more fluid. It just feels great.
We probably have more mods and more weapons in this game than I want to say any other game we've done before. There's a lot of variety.
But again, more is not necessarily better.
One of the many factors to pay attention to when engaging in combat. You may need to switch things up based on your environment. Gravity is different for each planet, and boost packs are excellent for getting around.
Quantity is not better than quality.
Edge in combat. Sometimes you'll even feel like you're flying. Zero gravity environments pose a different challenge. Firing a ballistic weapon in zero G will actually push you backwards.
That's cool.
Energy weapons on the
That's
other
cool.
hand, offer a more
That's cool.
stable shooting experience.
We also have mag weapons. These are high-powered electromagnetic induction ballistic arrays. Each barrel has its own targeting laser and can dish out some serious damage. Whether you want to get up close and personal with your own two fists, or you like more compact weapons like pistols and submachine guns, or maybe you prefer something bigger. Starfield's got you covered.
I love their UI, by the way. Bethesda usually has a really shitty UI, but this UI is super clean. I like how it's not just cluttered with a bunch of shit. I don't like that the XP pops up at the center of your screen. I think it should pop off to the side a little bit. I don't like anything covering up my viewing space. It's like, oh cool, a number popped up, dopamine hit. Put that shit, move that out of my way. Like it blocks the view of what you're shooting. That's a terrible design decision. It's one of the things that frustrated me about Lost Ark was that you can't turn off the loot when you're getting a million things popping up, and then it's just like this huge fucking block that covers up the entire screen.
And spent it here. I know there was probably a lot to take in. There's a lot to the game, even more than we could show here.
Less is more.
We're always sharing these unique and special moments.
You don't have to chew in fucking dopamine hits.
It really is the people here. This game is a reflection of the incredible and passionate team that made it. All of them putting something special of themselves into it. So let's hear some of their favorite moments.
I love the way that our final combination of all the new tech has come together to create some of the most beautiful sunsets and sunrises we've ever had in any of our games.
I love the creatures, the exploration, every biome is different. The word that comes to mind is vast.
I like to use our photo mode to take rockstar photos.
I do like photo modes.
Discovery and wow, I can't believe that there's more here.
I'm most excited about our outpost building systems.
My favorite part is every time you step out on a planet,
it's a unique experience.
You spend all this time building your ship, and you see it on the landing pad. These things are gigantic. It's the kind of thing that you just can't get anywhere else.
There's something about seeing a tower over in the distance and going, I know the gravity's low here. I think I can make that jump.
My favorite part
That's cool.
Biomes, spaceships, audio design.
Messing around with physics is cool. That's always fun.
Diplomacy, exploration,
Can't tell me it's not. Like that's
I love the
I like that.
so much.
The incredible amount of worlds we created.
Sniper rifles, come on. Lever action, rocket launcher.
Brain sprout. I love, but some people might find creepy. I don't know. I know what's wrong with them.
The thing that I enjoy most about the game.
Can I
is that
ride
for
an
you to
alien?
Be who you want to be, do what you want to do. It's what you've come to expect from a Bethesda title, but on a much bigger scale.
Again, they're really pushing that scale. That whole idea. It's not
On behalf
that
of all of
that
us,
scares me.
We can't wait for you to play Starfield and make your own special moments.
Like, it worries me that they're so focused on scale. Overall, I am impressed with this presentation. And it does look pretty exciting. Bethesda absolutely needs this game to hit. They need this to crush it, as well as Microsoft. They are really, they're putting a lot of eggs in this basket, but I mean, it's just been an L after L after L for Xbox. And even Bethesda. Oh, we got more. Oh, okay. It's just gonna go through the whole showcase, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, it's just been so many L's for Microsoft and Bethesda in recent years, that they absolutely need Starfield to just smash the game. Damn, that was gross. They needed this to smash. I hope it smashes, because obviously I want to play a good game, and I don't want to play a bad game. I do try to not hype myself up so much for Bethesda games, because every time I've done it, and since really Fallout 3, it's just been one letdown after another. So yeah, it looks really cool though. But for keeping the video a little bit shorter than rather than long, it looks promising. It does. It looks amazing. The creation engine has never looked so good. I still wish they weren't on the creation engine. Even if it's an updated, built from the ground up creation engine, it still runs off of the Gamebryo system for sure. Because that is the skeleton of Creation Engine. So whether you call it Creation Engine or Creation Engine 2, it's still Creation Engine. It's still Gamebryo. And that's usually where all the bugs come from for, Skyrim and on. Fallout New Vegas and on. Fallout 3 and on, really. Creation Engine is just not a great engine. It's great for the modding community. But it is just bug ridden. And even in that whole video, I even pointed out a bug that happened in their marketing video where the texture like fizzled out on one of the creatures. So gonna keep my fingers crossed here. And let's see what comes of it.